Hello, everybody. It is I, Stippling Vaughn, and I'm here working on the Dengar piece still. I want to introduce you guys to a YouTuber who she does the same thing. The channel's called Silent Stippler, and she does like hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of stippling. She doesn't stipple with a 102. She stipples with a Rapidio, but she works on a much larger scale than I. She works on a much broader canvas. And she doesn't talk, she just works away and stipples. But check her out. I know she just subscribed, so Silent Stippler, welcome. I am Stippling Vaughn, and you can see that I stipple also, but I stipple uh, with a 102, and I'm much more detailed with my stippling, that whereas like you do a much larger version of that or a much larger of this, I have to simplify it for size constraints. So, and she also fights the same problem I have. You know, sometimes when I'm working, next thing you know, I slip down like that. She it's that is the one thing I've noticed with all artists is when you get into a zone, you're really focused on what you're doing. You're not aware that you're what you're working on is not in frame. It's something we all fight. It doesn't matter whether you're stippling or cross hatching or just drawing. It just you get into it and you don't keep in mind unless you have a camera that that shoots down little laser beams, lets you know that where the edge of the image area is. You're gonna do that. So, let's get rearranged here. I think up for right now, I'm just going to work up here with this smoke. So that way I can keep it in frame and I can keep you guys entertained. As always, you can tell from the background noise, both music and conversation, that I, of course, am always doing my work from my local dive bar. I find I get more work done here at the dive bar stippling than I do at home. At home, I'm surrounded by my stuff. It's easy to be interrupted because the dog's crying and he wants to go outside, or maybe it's hungry or whatever. But that and you need to do this and less, less distractions. It's kind of like your office space. How when you're at your office space, even when you're working from home, when you're at your in your office working, you may be physically at home, but you're not at home. You can't be doing laundry while you're working. You have to be focused on what you're doing. This is my office. This is where I get my work done. So, cleaning off this nib right now. This ink well that I'm working from, it's getting thicker and thicker. So, I'm going to need to move on to get myself a new well. So, and obviously somebody's having an issues with one of the gaming machines. Yes, we live in a state where you can have gaming machines, games of chance at the bars. So, um, but no, this is where I get all my work done. So, I want to give you guys an update on Camelot. Camelot is racing at Five Flags today, Pensacola, Florida. The race is going to be on Flow Racing. I'll try to include the link for Flow Racing in the description. I took a look at it and I couldn't see any like upcoming live events. So I don't know if the race at Five Flags is going to be recorded and then aired or whether it's going to be broadcast live. So, but yeah, it's on Flow Racing on YouTube. I didn't realize it was on YouTube. Was where it was. I thought it was like a like a cable company, a cable network. So I was like trying to find it on Direct TV to see if I could have a broadcast here. So, but this is where this is a big deal for Camelot. He's actually going to be racing. Camelot's responsibility with this is he's got to be tweeting. He's got to be, and while he's racing, he's got to have someone in the stands or in the pit box tweeting out how he's doing so we can be kept informed. And then it's our responsibility as those tweets come in, to retweet it out to everybody. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, um, remember, he's got his funding from Ethan for the Cyber Frog in Daytona, which which as Camelot has said, it has it is an approved wrap now. So NASCAR has approved it, and they are like, "Yep, it's going to be approved. It's going to be a race." So even though you have people like, "Oh, we're going to do an email and a phone campaign to get it pulled that they can't race it," no, NASCAR is well aware of the harassment that happens. It's Camelot's not the first driver to have this type of harassment being forwarded to like the marketing division of NASCAR or to NASCAR itself, and they're like, "Yeah, we know about it. We know that those knuckleheads. You're doing you're perfectly okay in our parameters, so you have nothing to fear." So he's going to have the car, the Cyberfrog car in Talladega, no problems whatsoever. But this race, okay, this is the big race. Remember, he's definitely going to be in this race. He wants to do a top 10. I hope he does a top 10 too. I think that a race like this is much better for him starting out to really prove himself, not just to him, to his team, but to the other drivers. That, hey, I was done wrong in Daytona. I was done wrong uh, in in Phoenix. I'm not going to be done wrong here today. So I'm really looking forward to uh, checking out Flow Racing over the course of today and tomorrow to find the video so I can watch it. So, and I took a look at the channel, and they cover all sorts of racing, the late models and the drag racing. They even have racing from my own backyard, the 410 sprints. I saw that there's a race that they had for 6 days ago at Lincoln Speedway in I think it's like the Hanover area of Pennsylvania. But it also had a Port Royal race that they aired, and there's also a Williams Grove. So that's all in my backyard. So that makes me more interested in checking out Flow Racing. Probably going to definitely be actually even makes me even curious about anxious to go to a race over at Williams Grove Speedway. Williams Grove Speedway is a local dirt track. It's got a long history. In fact, if you go into the history of NASCAR, Williams Grove Speedway actually, back when NASCAR raced on dirt track, they hosted NASCAR races. So that's a little tidbit of trivia for you. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how Camelot does. I hope, like I said, it's Camelot's responsibility to get us energized with tweeting and broadcasting, so it, we can get in on the excitement. So, and if you end up enjoying racing, good. I would say in Flow Racing, if you can look it under, try to find it under Five Flags or under ARCA East. Okay, you can't just look under ARCA, you have to go under ARCA East. So, and this week, Camelot brought up and he showed the racing schedule he has for this year. And he's got, I think it's like 19 races. So, I'm really looking forward to watching him on TV this year. So, but, and then also this week, not only is Graham Nolan closing out his Monster Island campaign this week. In fact, it's closing out today. It's in the last 24 hours. This evening, he's probably going to have a large party stream. He got himself over 100,000, which means that at 100,000, he's including in his book an 8-page story called Kirby's Cigar. As I understand it, he talks about the comic book industry from Kirby's own words about the industry, and it's a pulls no punches story. So I'm really looking forward to that. In fact, that sounds like the type of story that if Graham wants, he could republish it as its own small mini comic. I don't mean mini in size, I mean mini in pages. But if he wants to, like, down the road, uh, republish that as a backup story in other books, or have it as an add-on, like, let's say when he does Joe Frankenstein. You have the ability to get the Joe Frankenstein book, and maybe he has it set up so he has a supplemental book called Kirby's Cigar, which is a mini comic. I think he would do well to do that, to have it as its own individual book to have available for people to purchase. On top of him also doing having the closeout, he launched a new show this week. It's called The Landing Crew. It's him, Aaron Lopresti, Ron Garney, and Anna, that Star Wars girl. And they're going to be going over each episode of Star Trek, the original series, from production. So even though it might have been the 8th episode aired, it was the second It was the second one shot, or the second one written. So he goes into the backstory of each episode, so that way you get an idea of what the vision of the episode was versus what ended up being on the screen that we saw. The first episode, they did the cage, which it was an okay one. Let's put it this way, I was never a fan of the episode The Cage. I think what I really liked about it was that was a good episode to first air, to see the building chemistry with Ron Garney, with Aaron and Graham streaming for the first time. There were times where they were talking over each other. That is something that, as you stream with other individuals, you catch on, so that way you don't talk over each other. And you just take a look at how Aaron, when he first was on King's, how he was always very quiet and he would wait his turn to speak, whereas now he's gotten into the mix that he's not talking over everybody. He's still able to speak up and make his points on whatever subject that they're on talking about. I didn't watch Kings this week. I know that they did stream and that did a show. But no, I'm really excited about this. I think this is a great opportunity for the four of them to combine their audiences together, along with creating a new audience for new viewers, for them to then use that opportunity to promote their own books. I can see like Graham with his Monster Island books that he's doing this year, along with his follow-up Joe Frankenstein story. Aaron with his Kit Carter story, which looks extraordinary. I'm loving every moment of it. I just love it every single time he shows a image of more work being done by Kit Carter. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to have it in my hands. And then, of course, we all know Ron Garney's going to, as Ron said, he's going to be doing a follow-up to Berserker with Keanu Reeves. Gives him a great means to introduce his work to a brand new audience that may not have been aware. Or let's put it this way, introduce himself to a new audience that may not have backed Berserker, but from meeting him and talking to him, become fans of him and want to support him with his endeavors with Keanu Reeves. And then, of course, Anna, who I wonder if, remember how Anna had Graham on her channel and they were doing a review of Monster Island? I'm wondering if, because the chemistry between Graham and Anna was so good in that episode, I'm wondering if that was that, along with Graham spotting Ron posting on social media to discover, hey Ron, you're a Trekkie, and Ron's like, yeah. I'm wondering if that got the ball rolling for Graham to come up with a brand new show called The Landing Pad, to have those four or those three on with him. Now, I don't know if this is going to be exclusive to Graham's show, or whether it will be become a rotating show amongst the three of them, and then once Ron decides he wants to have an episode on his channel, I think it would be great. I wouldn't mind seeing that as a rotating show. But if it stays on Graham's channel, I can see the others. I can see fans of Aaron, fans of Ron, and fans of Anna tuning in because of them enjoying those creators. So, okay, let's see here. Let's focus on the spines of the wings for these TIE fighters. So let's get this. This is going to be just going in here, and what I'm going to have to do is hit each spine, and then you got to figure out where to put the line break. Okay, so we got that, so we don't want that connected, so we'll just put that up here. And see, here's where we go in. We don't want to do the whole line, but we just want to put in a hint of the brace arm, the brace line. So, okay, so we don't, let's put this one all the way up to the brace line, and then we bring it down. This one here we can have going into the black. See, there it works, okay? But as we go down here, we probably won't. We'll probably have to have break lines. But then this also shows where, okay, we'll do this one here. We have this one here, it comes out on this side because it broke the frame. And here it is here. We'll just come in here. Let's see here. Yeah, that looks good. So we have that, and we've got that. This is where you go heavy with your dots. And then we put this one here. And what I'll do is I won't cover that line. I'll try to cover up. I'll just go up to that pencil line. And then we follow it up along the other side. And remember, we go up to the pencil line. We don't cover up the pencil line. Because when we erase it, that pencil line shows up, and it might then show up as a white line. Which is, I really enjoy doing that. When I'm doing this, and like you can see where I have a pencil line. When I erase all this, the pencil line disappears, and then you just have that implied line. So you might don't have the full line, but you have some lines up here, and your brain will fill in the rest of the lines. So, but in here we put some more smoke in over here. So I know I'm going a little over on time because I try to keep them at 15 minutes, and it looks like we'll be doing about 20 minutes today. So just go up a little bit, and we just put a little bit more smoke in right here. By putting in that smoke here, we're creating that line right there. So, and that's where I forget Shelby was doing a video yesterday, and Shelby was talking about how when you do, like when he's mimicking like Frank Miller, or when he's doing that, how Jim Lee did Death Blow, how you try to do it. Try to do your drawing focusing on just the shadows and not doing holding lines. So that way the shadow creates that holding line without you having to create the holding line. So, okay, guys, that's about it for today. Want you guys all to have a great day. It's a rainy day for us, but hey, it's still a day that you should be productive. And remember, life is stressful. Just take it all one dot at a time.